Okay, Casey, we're going to pick up with the second part of Broken Bricks. Just to review real quick, we're talking about power chords or 5 chords, just meaning that the only thing that is in that chord is the root and the fifth above it. And the difference between some of this power chord and the ones we played before is that instead of it just being those 2 notes, we're going to include the note that is the octave too. Okay, so you got 3 notes, but it's still called just a power chord or a 5 chord because there's 3 notes, but the lowest and the highest note are the same note, just an octave apart. So let's just get back to where we were before. We played the intro, we played the verse, and then the first instrumental break. Now we're going to go into, after that first instrumental break, you'll have another verse just like the first verse. Just remember to keep that swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just keep that same swing. When we get into the instrumental break the second time, it's a little different than when we did before. Instrumental break 1, we played, what did we do here? We went, and then we went up from this, actually down, C, B, B flat, A. Okay, so you got a descending line. Okay, one more time we went A, G, A, G, A, and then C, B, B flat, A. This time on instrumental break number 2, you have an ascending line. Okay, so the A and the G will be the same. A, G, A, A. But we're going to go down to the F. F, let me get that for you. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, all on quarter notes. So it'll be, okay, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. And so if you put that together, it'll be A, G, A, G, A, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and then you end on A again. Okay, that you just do that twice. All right, so just remember that you do have a couple options. You could play your A like this, but it doesn't give you that same sort of staccato feel. Remember, we want staccato, and even though you can control these notes, when you do this power chord here, you will still have an A, the E, which is the power 5 note of that chord, and then another E, A. 3 notes. If you play that right, you still get that sound. But when I play that staccato, the A still rings on the 5th string. Okay? So even though this is a power chord A, I want you to play it here on the 5th fret, so you can control the whole chord. So when we play that staccato one more time, that break, instrumental break number 2, will be. Alright, and then you would repeat it. I think you can kind of hear that I'm opening up that low note, so you could go, and I'm going. So sometimes you may hear that open E. He doesn't do that. I do it by accident because it reminds me of another song, to be perfectly honest with you. But really all I'm doing is when I'm going from the A to the G, you'll sometimes hear me open up that first finger. I'll do it slow. Okay, so if you like it, keep doing it. If you don't like it, it's cool. What he actually does is just moving down the string. And instead of hearing that open note, you're hearing him come back on the strings a little bit with just kind of just a texture, not a note. So there's your instrumental break number 2. Now, something changes right after that. It goes into verse 3, and it's very similar to verse 1 and 2. The difference being, instead of coming back down on the C, so I'll just review. On verse 1 and 2, you went A, C, D, C. Okay? So you went up and back down. Okay? This time, what we're going to do is go up to E. Alright? So we're going to play A, C, D, E, like that. Okay? One more time. A, C on the 5th string, D on the 5th string, E on the 5th string. Now, something you can do that's kind of cool here is you have an open E. So even though you have the power chord is really E, and then the B above it, and the E, you actually can hit the low string too. Okay, which is kind of nice. You can only really do that on the E chord. Be careful not to do it on the D because it sounds like this. Totally wrong. Okay, same thing with the C. Okay, so you can only hit that low string when you're playing a 5th string power chord. when you have the E, because it's part of the chord. Alright? So the rhythm here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, and 3, 4, and. And really that last little eighth note is just kind of a pickup thing that's kind of happening because of the swing. Take it slow again. 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be the A. Here comes again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the A to the C. We're going to come up to the D. We're going to go rest. A two. Actually, well, yeah, we'll say rest. A two will be rest. Like that. So we're going to go from the A, C to the D like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Like that. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. And then we're going to move up to the E after that. 3, 4, So it'll go from the A. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Alright, and that doesn't have the pickup, so let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And really that extra little pickup is going to happen because you're going to come back again and do it again. So to me, when I'm thinking of it, when I'm thinking of what the phrase actually is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4, and that at the end is just because you kind of upstrum before you come back around, almost like a pickup note. So here's what it sounds like: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest. Alright, you would do that over and over and over again. That's the whole verse 3. Now, there's a little bit of what would feel like an intro before that verse 3. So just play that exactly how I just did, and then when you start singing, you keep playing it. Okay? There's a variation a couple of times, just in full disclosure, just so I'm telling you, you may hear it a little different in that verse 3. And what he does is he goes back to the rhythm that he does for verse 1 and 2, but playing these same chords. So I put that variation on the PDF that I'm sending you. Same exact chords. In fact, I'll play them back to back. So the first one we did is just what we just learned. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Okay, and the second one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Okay, so you may hear him sometimes do that, and I think he's just doing it because it's his song. He can do whatever he wants, to be honest with you. But the chords are changing in similar spots. He just doesn't have that rest on the D to make it feel a little bit different. That's what you're going to do for this song. The only thing that's different is the last little thing he does is a hold on the A power chord. Alright, I wrote it as a whole note. In fact, I may correct it before I send it to you. It's really a half note. And then you let go. Okay? So it's not just a and then fade. Okay? He actually plays it and releases the tension, and that's the end of the song. Okay? So you've got, sorry, my cat's driving me crazy. Here's what you're going to do. I put it on here just so you understand. You're going to start with the intro. You're going to do the first verse, first instrumental break, back straight into the second verse, the second instrumental break where it goes up instead of down, and then verse 3 has a little bit of an intro kind of section, and then it finishes up with the actual words over the verse, and then end on the A. And that's it. So let me put together everything we did today, starting on the instrumental break number 2, and that'll get you finishing the song. Okay? Remember, there's a swing. 1, 2, instrumental now. Then he goes right back into verse 3. This is the intro section, though. So you're going to go. Then he starts singing, but you do the same thing. He may do a variation, so you can add that in here. And then end on the A when he's done with that. He repeats the words of some phrase over and over and over again. I can't remember what it is, but then you'll hear it. He'll end on, and you're done. One thing I should show you, you may see my hands do this. Whenever I play a power chord on the 5th string, sometimes you'll see this finger, my second finger, my middle finger, I guess, hitting the lowest string, and it's just to mute it, because I don't want to hear the D chord. I don't want to hear that low E. So sometimes you may see me like this. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm actually just laying, let me see if I can get you to see this. I'm just laying my finger. I'm not pushing it down like it's fretting. I'm just laying that middle finger down just enough so that it mutes that string. When you play an electric guitar, you may hear it less because it's so much crunch that note won't get in your way as much. You can just kind of get away with it. I'm not sure why. It just doesn't come out as much. But on this acoustic, if you hear me play that chord with this note, it sounds terrible. So one way to get around it is just to lay that middle finger very lightly on that 6th string and it'll mute it for you. All right, that'll do it, man. Hopefully that answers all your questions as far as broken bricks is concerned. Remember to play it staccato with a little bit of a swing and you're good to go. Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving.